The typical tank experience.
Uh-oh.
Ah, yeah. Oh, I got the power.
No, you don't.
Rocked. Oh, I got slips.
Oh my
I got flux. Oh my
God.
god. Oh. I got all the cooldowns on purpose.
The typical.
That's what every non-tank Twitter user will tell you. What do you mean? You did your job. You got all their cooldowns out. If my job in life is only to get their cooldowns out, I'd rather not be alive. Like, look at this poor guy.
Oh, I got the power. Oh, I got rocked. Oh, I got slips.
Oh my
I got flux. Oh my
God.
god. Oh, I got all their cooldowns on.
Poor guy. The fact that it doesn't even look like he did anything that wrong, he just started an engagement. I baited everything. Y'all clean up? Question mark. Nah, that's entirely his fault. Why did he even try to queue for tank? Oh, chilly was. I would have cried and broken my keyboard. Yeah, that is a good sign that he was chill about it. That is nice.
So Malga.
Oh no. Malga patch notes.
So Malga got nerfed. He's basically losing 20% of his healing and damage by reducing his damage from
This was before they rebuffed him.
4, increasing the amount of shots to ignite enemies, and his
I'm probably gonna skip this one because like this is
I
outdated.
want to talk about that. I want to talk about an AMA they did with this dude.
Oh Jesus. Oh no. I'm glad I didn't
One
skip.
of the things that came up in this is that they are teasing around the idea of hero bans. Now, personally, I think hero bans kind of go against a lot of what Overwatch has to offer. But at the same time, with a balanced team like this game has, I can see a point to them. I think the biggest problem with hero bans is, first off, the casual player base when it comes to hero bans is just going to ban what they find the most annoying.
True. It'll always be like Reaper, Mercy, Junkrat, Doomfist.
Like, I would imagine below gold, your hero bans are primarily going to be stuff like Orisa, Moira.
Orisa too, yeah.
I don't even know. Junkrat. I'd imagine the Plat's a diamond ring.
But that's not a bad thing though. Like if players hate playing against those characters, you give them the chance to ban them, right? Like I don't think that's that bad. I'm not saying I'm for or against hero ban. I'm just saying like counter argument.
Ninja's probably still going to be banning Orisa pretty much off cooldown. But there's also some problems that come up with hero bans when it comes to more like, I guess, dedicated streamers and one-tricks. This would effectively be the death of public profiles. You would need to have the hero ban either be before you can even see.
Yeah, this is my point.
In your lobby, you just have 5
I said something somewhere.
both teams that you know are in the game, and you guys choose your bans, and then it shows who they are.
Yeah, the game should have a streamer mode at this point. Like the fact that the game doesn't actually have a real streamer mode is legitimately hilarious. It's 2023.
Or hero bans in conjunction with a better streamer mode or something.
It's not pre-watched, I swear.
But even that, I don't know. Because in a world with public profiles and, I guess, hero bans, you're most likely just gonna ban whatever you see their characters best with. Like, oh, you got a Genji one-trick teammate. You're probably not gonna want to ban Genji then, because, I mean, that reduces your chance of winning. But you see a Genji one-trick on the other team, you're banning Genji. Like, it doesn't matter whether or not...
No, yeah,
it's
don't
good
add
or not. You
hero
just
bans as a
don't
quick
wanna
play, though.
fight
Yeah,
Genji one-trick. Hero bans aren't necessarily a net positive or negative thing. But depending on how they're carried out, they could either be the best addition a game like this has ever had, or the worst thing.
Yeah, that's actually fair.
Say from experience that I think if Overwatch rolls out a really good competitive system overhaul in Season 9, followed up by, like, in 10 or 11, a hero ban system that's ass, it puts us back further than where we're at now with competitive. But...
I think we need more than competitive system at this point.
I don't know. It will completely depend on the execution of this and winning.
Here's the thing. Goodbye on hero bans, ban Orisa. Okay. Here's the thing right now. I'm a little bit burnt out because I've been playing a ton of Overwatch for the last 2 months because it's ad season, right? So probably ask me again in a month when I take like some time off, play variety for a month, and get the the bad juices of Overwatch out of my system for a little while. Here's the thing. Gameplay loop is kind of boring. Gameplay loop has gotten boring. It's been about a year. I think it needs to be changed. I don't know if a competitive system will fix just that. Like there needs to be more than just a competitive system fix. Because just like, I don't know, in game in, game out, it just, I don't know, it feels really weird, you know? But yeah.
Lots of people have been talking about
when more hero ban stuff.
adding hero bans to Overwatch to help solve the counter swapping issue. And honestly,
Wait a minute. Didn't this guy just sub like 2 seconds ago? Ah shit, no pressure. No pressure, no pressure. Thanks again for the sub. Now we get to watch your content. You watch me and you sub to me, now I get to watch your content. Yoink.
Lots of people have been talking about adding hero bans to Overwatch to help
That's also
solve
hilarious.
the counter swapping issue. And honestly, I think that's the biggest piece of dog shit that they could ever add to the game. For one, there are many one-tricks in the game who will throw anytime someone on their team even mentions a
That's true.
possibility of swapping heroes. Now
That's
imagine
true.
what that person's gonna do if their one trick gets banned. Overwatch already feels like the most coin flippy
Counterpoint. That's not their teammates that are forcing them off the hero, it's the enemy team. Are they going to throw the game because the enemy team forced them off the hero? Right? Like, if your own teammates are forcing you off a hero, you're like, you, we're all going down with the ship together. Pull the dynamite, boom, our ship's blowing up, right? Like, we're all going down together. But if it's those guys over there, those assholes do it, are you still going to pull the plug and make everybody go down with the ship? I don't know the answer to that question, but...
Overwatch already feels like the most coin flippy game in existence. Now factor in your team throwing or losing because someone's one trick was banned. Or even if they aren't a complete one trick but just have a small hero pool, being forced onto different heroes that they aren't comfortable on is almost a guaranteed loss. Trust me, I hate getting a Mercy, Moira, Genji, Ball, or Doom one trick that refuses to swap, but your best chances of winning are to play around them. I mean, they'll just throw if you ask them to swap anyway. Also, hero bans would just suck for-
I don't ask anyone to swap, to be honest with you. I never ask anyone to swap anymore. People always say to me, oh, Flitz, you're talking about like, oh, if you had this hero on your team, you could win. Why don't you just tell him to swap? I go, I know better. I know way better. I'm gonna rather just try to win with this one guy. Because if I ask him to swap, he's like, this fucking egotistical streamer asked me to swap. And it's way worse.
Everyone at all levels of skill. In lower ranks, people would just ban the easy value heroes like Bastion and Moira, forcing anyone who crutches those heroes onto something where they can't just AFK and get ridiculously high numbers. And in high ranks, everyone would just ban the hard counter heroes like Brig and Ana and Kiriko, severely weaken the support role for high levels of play, and just miserable for supports in high ranks. This isn't to say I'm not.
Yeah, but like, Forza, am I right?
Glad that
no, I'm kidding. That was a joke!
To help with counter swapping, I just think that this particular solution is not the one.
So I hear what they're saying though, about like the whole idea of like, oh, and making supports miserable, whatever. But like that would also encourage you to have like a deeper hero pool and play in different scenarios, right? Let me give you a counterpoint. Back in Overwatch 1, there was at one point dive meta, which you played Zen Mercy, right? Played Zen Mercy, Genji Tracer, Winston Diva. Do you know what the purpose of the Zen player was? Discord Orb, yes, but they were also the dive target. Here's what they would do. They would Discord somebody on the enemy team, they would orb somebody on their team, and then one of two things would happen. Whoever Zen got spotted first would get dived. There was dive and there was counter dive. People are stupid, and they thought counter dive meant jumping at the enemy team when your team jumped at them. Incorrect. Counter dive was turning and collapsing on your Zen, right? So like their Winston Diva jumped your Zen, counter dive with your Winston Diva would jump their Winston Diva, and you would try to collapse on your Zen, save your Zen from dying, and kill them. But there was also the opposite of kind of dumbassery, but it was also a way to play, which was just dive their Zen. So their tanks dove your Zen, and your tanks dove their Zen. Both team Zens got deleted. Was that fun to play? According to them, it was actually great. It was actually a blast. So you could sit there and say like, oh, it'd be really miserable for them. But like, we literally had a meta where there was a support player who was the target. Like they were literally like the target acquired, Zen in the backline. 3, 2, 1, go. And that guy got deleted like instantly. But you might be able to save him too. And that like 3 seconds of defense matrix bubble, like choom, 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 choom. Like that was super fun for people, right? You know, maybe characters like Brig might get banned in the dive meta forms where you have to play Ana or Zen or Kiri or Ilari without Brig support. And now you have to play much more safe or much more aggressive. And yeah, you might die more often, but like it's something new and it changes the gameplay loop, right? Which is one of the greatest parts of hero bans is we all know what's going to happen right now. If you get Winston, they go Brig, all of a sudden it's over. You go Orisa, they go Zen, it's over. But if you put a ban in there somewhere, now you got to change up the way everybody plays. And like that's interesting. That has the potential to be a lot of fun. So I'm not saying for it or against it. I'm actually not on either side. I'm just providing my own feedback. Counter swapping issue, it's an integral part to the game. You're right, it is, but the state of it right now is absurd, hence an issue. Yeah, no, I think when people say counter swapping isn't an issue, like they're like talking about the idea of like Overwatch for forever. It's like they have a Pharah, I go Cass. you know, or they had a Tracer, I go Cass, right? Or whatever. But like now it's like I could train a monkey, you know? Like you see Wintun, you pick Diva. You see Rhine, you pick Orisa. You see Roadhog, you pick Orisa. You see Ball, you go Sombra. Like, and I just show you photos, and the monkey could go like this, and pick the correct one, and then you give it a little piece of banana. Like that's not skill. That's way different. And that's where the problem is. But yeah,
Any game of Overwatch is winnable after this. Me and my friend are mid-diamond DPS players and queued up for a late night game. Somehow we ended up in a Plat 2 lobby with a diamond/masters DPS on the enemy team. So on both teams there were people of a lower rank. Our attack comp consisted of Ryan, Cassidy, Tracer, which is me, Moira and Ana on our team. Now,
That's
this is
kinda
a
awful.
shit comp for the Order first, since there's nothing that would contest the dominant high ground. But I tried not to judge and I played like I would in any scenario, so I just looked for an opening on a high ground flank.
yeah.
A minute and a half into the round, both of the supports started flaming us. Now, to be fair, I did practically nothing because it was difficult to push a boot camp with damage boosted heat scans and a payload, so I could have switched and or I could have played better.
Okay.
However, it was difficult for our tank to create space because of those flaming supports who were probably top 500 smurfs, since they knew everything that was wrong. And I could tell by the impressive demonstration of their mechanical skill on the Moira character, with their contenders level game sense, aim and positioning.
This is funny. This is very true,
Our
actually.
Moira finished the first round
Everybody knows what's wrong with the tanks, but nobody knows anything beyond that.
1-7, while screaming in chat that me and my friend needed to be avoided by the entire lobby at all cost. We only managed to push payload this far, and it was practically GG.
Uh-huh.
Unless... Yes, we actually won that.
Yo,
I
this can
force the
happen.
text chat and focus on the game. The enemy team thought that the game was won since our team was falling apart.
Yo,
and they only
this
had to
happens
finish
quite
as one
often.
chunk.
That's why you never give up in a game of
They
Overwatch.
became severely...
And that's why when people say there should be a vote to surrender option, shut up. Overwatch is one of the few games that you genuinely having a surrender option would be terrible.
overconfident. We played a better poke comp with Sigma. And me being isolated from those toxic gold players made me perform better, and my aim woke up. And in all fairness to my supports, they played well and didn't die once during defense. And that's why.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah, that's actually very true.